Here we have one of the largest intact wetlands in North America at the mouth. There's no channelization as this river meets the ocean. And we still have communities that can subsist on the resources that they can hunt and harvest here. So we're here at 25 Mile in the Copper River Delta. It gets its name because we're 25 miles outside of downtown Cordova. We've crossed the Copper River Delta to get here, and along the way have crossed over many culverts. This is what I'm sitting on, is a newly installed fish-friendly culvert. It's called a stream simulation design. It was probably upwards of 12, 13 years ago now. There were some meetings up in the Copper Basin that identified that culverts were a big issue. So in our watershed, there are a few hundred culverts, even though we don't have that many people or that many miles of road. Culverts that have been installed in the past tend to be smaller, and they're less costly when they're smaller, and so there's an advantage to making them of the smaller size. But the smaller pipes can constrict the stream. They can increase the velocity of the water. It can cause up and downstream scouring and changes the morphology of our streams. The state had done a study of the culverts and come to the conclusion that 64% were inadequate for fish passage, 32% needed more information, and about 4% were actually good for passing fish. But what that didn't tell us was which ones were associated with the best fish habitats. So these crossings that we're visiting today in particular were a result of this region-wide partnership that we had that had developed a score for culverts and had identified on the Copper River Highway the culverts that were the highest priority for replacing. This culvert, the way that they're designed is, the goal is to try to make it wide to simulate the stream going through it. And what's hard to imagine is that this culvert is 20+ feet wide, but it's also almost 17 feet deep. And so it allows the contractor to actually use equipment to be able to move the stream material into the pipe and make the bottom look like the stream bottom before and after the road crossing. Also, we not only want to accommodate fish, but increasing the size of your culvert can help protect your road infrastructure. And so as we are seeing increases in an already rainy climate and seeing increases in precipitation and potential peak flow from glacial melt, we want to make sure that we're designing these for a 100-year event, and those 100-year events are changing in their size, and so being large enough to handle that flow of water is definitely part of the long-term plan for the design as well. To have a watershed like the Copper River continue to produce salmon, it can serve as an example or a reference for restoration in other parts of more disturbed areas, and also can help produce fish that have a natural tendency to migrate, and some of them might find new places to live. And so in some of these more damaged areas, having healthy salmon in nearby river systems could be an advantage to helping keep Pacific salmon alive and well in other watersheds as well. And so being able to keep this watershed healthy is only going to benefit neighboring watersheds as well.